wherever you are across the globe, and specifically, dear Ugandans, I salute you all and commend all your efforts, especially legitimate efforts towards democracy and the rule of law in our country, and also ensuring that there is protection and observance of fundamental rights and freedom. You'll excuse me, I will start with the English version, then I'll go into Luganda. Kansoko Luzungu, then nzile ku Luganda, because the message is a bit summarized and clear. I want to applaud you, ladies and gentlemen, countrymen, wherever you are, for your efforts towards democracy, the rule of law, and human rights protection. We are in these efforts, particularly as human rights defenders, and as well as citizens of Uganda. We have a solid and constitutional duty to protect and ensure that there is observance of the rule of law in our country, and citizens must enjoy their fundamental rights and freedom, whether in Uganda or even abroad. It is a duty of our country to ensure that there is protection and defense of rights of Ugandans, even while living in a diaspora. And it does not form anywhere part of our foreign policy for Uganda not to take charge and caution on the welfare, well-being, and whereabouts of nationals, especially living abroad. My name is Muwada Nkunyingi, the Shadow Minister, Foreign Affairs, and Member of Parliament, Shadondo County East. I want to bring you greetings from the leader of opposition, and of course NUP as a party, because we undertook to join the search and defending human rights as using legitimate and formal means, both as the leader of opposition and also as a party, the National Unity Platform, and of course people power for those who prefer to be housed under people power. Today, I'm now stationed here in Turkey, having returned to practically boost and monitor efforts as regards establishing the whereabouts of a Ugandan activist and the Ugandan national, Fred Kajubi Lumbuye, who went missing a while ago and has been missing to date. Of course, the circumstances of his arrest and detention were questionable and unclear from the start, because no one knew who arrested him and where he was taken. Of course, prior to my coming, we have done diplomatic engagements within Uganda with the government of Turkey, and as well we have also engaged the government of Uganda to come out clear and brief us on what it meant by the attempt to deport Lumbuye. Of course, as I reported a while ago and sometime back, that through Parliament of Uganda and through our Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, of course, as well with my involvement as the Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister, we put government on task and the line ministers to account for Lumbuye wherever he is. Well, they were saying the negotiations were ongoing, but we wanted certainty. They are negotiating of a person who we can't know and trace his whereabouts. And the government of Uganda categorically came out and said Lumbuye is still in Turkey. After that engagement, I also engaged the ambassador of Turkey in Uganda, Ambassador Karim Arup, who equally confirmed that Lumbuye is in Turkey. Of course, as a follow-up, I eventually returned to ensure and boost up our efforts to, first of all, ascertain if Lumbuye is in Turkey, and if in Turkey, then where is he detained? Those were primarily our initial and preliminary efforts. And after identifying his whereabouts and where he's detained, then we come up with a way forward. Of course, I returned, and we have been I've been assisted and handling most of this matter with our lawyer, Counsel Adnan Sahin, and his law firm. We followed a number of legal processes involving court and as well involving the immigration system, and mounted a search. Of course, after the search, we had to agree on the follow-up process. So we mounted a search, and in summary, I can comfortably and confirm to you all that Lumbuye is in Turkey, detained at Kochayeli Foreigners Detention Center in Turkey here. We visited him yesterday. Of course, the detention center has a number of foreigners, but Lumbuye is alive. Is alive. He can speak. He can talk, but of course bored and depressed because he's in detention. And in his own words, he narrated that they had briefed and told him that he was to stay in the detention center for 6 months. I think he has been there for now. I think he's coming to 2 or 3 months. I haven't calculated properly. But Lumbuye is detained at Kochayeli Foreigners Detention Center. We accessed his file record and his detention documentation. Of course, it indicates on the record that he was detained at Istanbul Police, then taken to the other prison, to one detention center, which we last visited the other time we came, and then he was transferred to Kochayeli Foreigners Detention Center. Indeed, Kochayeli is a detention center. It's not a prison, and it's not a police post or police station. It is a detention center for foreigners, and we could see many other foreigners. I visited Lumbuye together with lawyer Adnan Sahin, the two of us, and from the interaction, we are making a number of legal and human rights follow-ups, which we shall disclose in the coming 1 or 2 days. But for now, what I can report is that Lumbuye is alive. Lumbuye thanked all of you, countrymen, wherever you are, for your efforts towards his freedom, and he remains strong. He remains strong. In his own words, Lumbuye matches applaud and appreciate all efforts and all our efforts to make sure that he regains his freedom and he is released. However, he was very clear that he does not want to return to Uganda. I marked it as a very important statement. So we are going to focus on efforts and legal and human rights efforts, one for his release, and two, where necessary and where possible, for his subsequent relocation to any other country, which is allowed and acceptable under international laws, and the laws of Turkey ably protects immigrants, asylum seekers, refugee seekers, among others, and respects the international laws, at least from our initial findings locally here on ground. So I can comfortably report Lumbuye is detained at Kochayeli. He's alive. He's alive and can speak, can talk, can walk. Apart his only challenge he claimed is bored, of course. He has been in one place without meeting people, talking to people. At the detention center, he's not allowed to use phone. He's not allowed to take photo. He's not allowed to generally to receive any visa anyhow, and I think that is subject to the Turkish system. We could not interfere a lot, but at least is allowed legal access and legal protection, and is allowed to take up his rights. I can confirm that we are steadily moving, and by the time I return to Uganda, we would have moved a step. Of course, we are moving well with and progressing well with our team of lawyers. I also want to be clear that the search and defense of Lumbuye is public. There's nothing to keep silent or to hide, because first of all, he's a public figure. Two, we are using lawful and legal means. Legal and lawful means are always open, and the courts are equally open public courts. So all processes are public, and they are the known legal processes across the world. Maybe what changes significantly is the language, but the legal processes to follow are normally normal. And I want to report they are equally affordable, because for example, the only expense we have incurred does not exceed, in terms of practical legal expense here, it does not exceed $300, $1 to $300. So I want to applaud that at least the Turkish proper system is affordable, and I believe we can actually afford the process, because the first step was first of all identifying where he is. We could not agree with our lawyers much until we identify the location and detention center of Lumbuye, and we identified it and we talked to him. I can confirm that I and Mr. Adnan visited Lumbuye yesterday. Secondly, we are now studying the entire details of his file and the records, so that we can now comprehensively come up with a proper engagement of the lawyer, with the certainty that this is what we are going to do, and these are the legal steps we are going to do, and then we are going to discuss it, of course, as lawyers, and agree what is the appropriate course of action. Then we can now formally engage the lawyer on the next step and process. So I'm reporting what we are doing formally. If there is any other one doing anything, I cannot comfortably comment. I'm reporting what we are doing on behalf of the party and on behalf of the opposition and the party as an MP. What the formal processes we are trying to put in place, and of course quote us from what we are only releasing. Two, we have not sanctioned any payment anywhere, and we cannot report on any other payment anywhere. What I can report on is the simple affordable cost we have so far incurred in terms of the search, which does not exceed, in my knowledge, $300 only. The other processes and narrations you may hear from there, I've seen so many questions here. Please don't ask me, I don't know. I'm telling you what we are handling and what I know. Because I'm trying to answer some of the questions even as I address you. Secondly, so we are now trying to go through most of these other preliminary legal steps. Even as I speak, the lawyers are on process. They are making a number of processes, so that we can finally come up with a comprehensive plan on the right legal course of action. Now, the first step was identifying where he is detained. After identifying where he is detained, we are going to come up with now a comprehensive course of action, agreeable and discussed between us and as well with the party, and then we shall update you accordingly through the party channels. So for now, I'm reporting the status on ground, that the first step was discovering Lumbuye's existence, and that Lumbuye is alive and where he's detained. This was very key and instrumental in our processes. But we want to thank you for standing up. We want to thank you for the solidarity. We want to thank you for the efforts. And we want to assure you that together, we as people, it is not an effort of one person, it's an effort of all persons and all people. It is our collective and joint effort. Every one of you has done something. Even those who have raised up their voices that free Lumbuye, you have been fundamental and instrumental. So I can report for now formally that Lumbuye is alive, Lumbuye is in Turkey, and Lumbuye is detained at Koshayali Detention Center here in Turkey. And Lumbuye thanks you all, and as well, Lumbuye is continuously praying that we do all what is possible in our means to ensure that he regains his freedom, and as well to do all what is within our means to ensure that that he has safe destiny after prison or after detention, after the detention center. But I want to applaud also the system, the Turkish system. We found some ease in so now I can report comfortably that Lumbuye is alive, Lumbuye is and we are doing all what it takes. I believe in the next few hours or between now and tomorrow, we shall update you on our final position on the right course of action we have zeroed on after an engagement with the lawyers. And as well, continuously to thank you for all your efforts. I thank you. Let me now turn to Uganda.
Yes, that is Muwada Nkunyingi, your shadow foreign affairs minister mu government yekisikirize. That is his English version on the whereabouts of Lumbuye and finding the detention center where he has been detained for almost 1.5 months. So I tried giving you those details by providing the audio of Muwada Nkunyingi. He was speaking on a Facebook Live some hours back. So as Dugout News 360, because we soul searched and put ourselves in a position of giving you all the developments about Lumbuye, whichever comes in or as events unfold. And we promised we shall be giving you all these details. I'll be doing a video about the Observer newspaper article that was speaking about Lumbuye being in Uganda and all that was in that article. And now we get a rebuttal from Muwada Nkunyingi, who is in Turkey. So that is where things are. The Observer article was saying Lumbuye is in Uganda and he has been put through a process of making him a pro-Museveni agent. And now here is Muwada Nkunyingi, who is in Turkey, telling us that Lumbuye, with no doubt, is in Turkey. The remaining piece of it all is Muwada Nkunyingi taking those photos that I'm with Lumbuye here and all that. But he has been explaining that they can't take photos because of the Turkish laws there and their system. But he's speaking with authority that Lumbuye is in Turkey. Now, we're going to be getting the Uganda version. Muwada Nkunyingi ng'atunyonnyola Lumbuye ali mu Turkey, yamulabyeko ne boogerezeganya na biki byonna nga bwe byabadde. Naye njagadde nsooke nkuwe ku English version nga Dugout News 360 ekyo mukifune aba oluzungu bagenda kuba covered mu ngeri eyo. Kati katufune Luganda version eyinza okuba mpanvu muko naye katugifune ekyo nakyo kiveewo. Well, please don't forget to subscribe Dugout News 360, comment and like our videos, and also don't forget to press that notification icon on your YouTube channel to always receive our new videos and also watch those new videos as they come in. Luchamuzi Jonathan Anthony is my name. Dugout News 360. Peace. We meet in our second video of the Luganda version. Muwada Nkunyingi speaking about Lumbuye's whereabouts.